Off to a really good start. All right, let's do it. Ladies and gents, welcome to the first semifinal in SAX Nations Cup. $50,000 put up by the SAX sponsor, who's a Chinese sponsor, and he's very much rooting for the Chinese team here today. Now, we're just catching up to live time. The trees will be normal size for the first game. They'll all be small trees, all you small trees in the future games. But right now, we've got some laming happening from one of the Chinese players. It's 4v4 Arabia, and then it's a mix of other settings throughout the day. So it will be 4v4, 1v1, 2v2, 3v3 to determine the best team to head towards the finals tomorrow. So shout out to those on my main YouTube channel. I'll have this in the second semi up soon. And then the final will be up as well, of course. All the other earlier stuff is on the extras channel. So quick introductions, because there were some laming attempts. Quick introductions. We've got Dogao. Dogao here for Brazil. He's playing on the flank as Ethiopians. Miguel is the pocket. Miguel is laming as well. So Miguel is actually stealing the Rhino here. So he's come forward as the pocket to steal Vivi. I believe this is Vivi's Rhino. He might take this Rhino right over to Dogao, honestly. He might not even need it himself, but that's crazy. Miguel's playing as the Persians. Let's just double check he gets this next to the TC. Should be good. Give it to Dogao. That's huge. That's huge for Brazil. Really nice start there. Pocket here is Fire. Lithuanians. The other flank that is Goku. Dravidians. Now, Goku's up against Lix. Obviously, you can read his name. The pocket that we've got, this is Bad Koala. So I'm just going to quickly adjust this because otherwise I think no one's going to know who is who. And then the other one here is Vivi, which we'll get to. But you essentially have like the top two for each country lined up together on their side, and then the others stacked together as well. So Bad Koala and Lix on the left. Here's Yo. He's the guy for China, obviously. He's playing as the Franks, but he and Vivi can combine to do big things. I think, I think from what I've been told, those characters actually just stand for like their streaming platform or something. So Yo is Yo, and everything looks good there. They still got their clans up. Everything's good. So, yeah, I'll work on learning Chinese, but you know, the big thing here already is Dogao's going to have the easier time in early feudal. And he simply has so much food here. He's also Ethiopian, so he gets the extra 100 food and 100 gold when he arrives to feudal. So he should have a pretty fast uptime. Now, Vivi's uptime might be affected a little bit. I would expect him to be able to sort it out somewhat because he's pushing in some of the ostriches, but Vivi went forward to lame. He didn't push them in early, so he's got to recover now. And what this could affect is maybe the fletching timing, maybe how many archers he's able to get out. Normally something's going to give. This smooth eco of the Vietnamese might help him out a little bit. But I like the start for Brazil on this side. And I think, like, the right side, obviously the left side matters. Don't get me wrong. All these players are elite. But when I'm thinking chances for Brazil, it's all about Dogao and Miguel today. And then for China, it's the same through Yo and Vivi. So it'll be interesting to see how these teams face up against each other on this side. But it's a best of 7. It's a mix of settings as well. So it should be some really good games here today. I'm curious to see when the 1v1s roll around how that goes, because whoever plays the 1v1s will not be able to play the 2v2. So, you know, if things go wrong for any team once or twice, it's still okay for them today. They could still turn it around in theory. The scouts are super weak on the right side. Dogao's scout is 1 hit away from going down. And, oh man, he almost wanted to die there. And Miguel's scout is also kind of weak. I don't know where it is at the moment because he lamed. But it was a perfect lame. He only went down to 30 HP, so it could have certainly been worse for him. In the earlier rounds, Dogao was gone. Yes, he missed a round. His team was down 2-0 without him. Came back to win 3-2. I think that was against Russia. But Dogao's been here the last 2 weeks, and obviously this is the biggest stage now. Expect big things from him. There's the stable for Miguel. Every pocket player is probably going to be going scouts. Every flank is going archers. This is 4v4 Arabia. This is the meta these days. And Dravidian's kind of nice because you can get the ranges up right away. But the ranges are coming up here for Lix, and Lix has the faster firing archers. Now, Goku and Fire have crazy coordination together. If there were ever B teams for Brazil, they would sometimes play on that. But like Goku and Fire are very good friends. They play team games together all the time still, even just ranked games. So I remember 2v2 tournaments where it was Goku and Fire. Just all this combination, this coordination of Goku Fire. So to have, I mean, the whole team as a core has played together for so many years too. But it's kind of nice here as you kind of look at it like two separate 2v2s right now, how Brazil stack up. I don't think Lix and Bad Koala have that. Bad Koala is still kind of new compared to the other players. New meaning he's only been around actively at this level maybe for about 7 years. What a pleb. The dude's been an animal for 7 years. And compared to the rest of the pros here, we're like, oh, he's fresh. He's too fresh. Because in Brazil's case, 10 plus years, I could think of tournaments all the way back with all of them. And then for most of the others on China as well, that's the case. Vivi, of course, used to be called like So Big DL, Really DL, Fat Dragon. You know, he had kind of the troll names, which he's moved away from. He's all grown up now. And Yo has been Yo. Lix has been Lix for a very, very long time. So a lot to follow here, guys. I got to say, my caffeine hasn't hit yet. So I'm still waking up. Hopefully for these players, they're awake and ready to go as well. You see the army's coordinated now. And a bit of a push forward here from Yo. And he and Miguel are just going to be passing each other here. But here comes Dogao. Now, I noticed this a lot when I watched Dogao and Miguel. A lot of teams have a bit more patience. They wait to move out. You can see Vivi's doing that. But they just move out kind of early to set the tone. But Vivi can relay to Yo that the pressure is here. And Dogao needs to get quick walls down. And the scouts are here from Yo. So Yo not working with his teammate and separating himself there. And he's going to find a villager pick. Quick walls are needed. Remember, this is Brazil to China. So there's a decent amount of lag. Or like delay. You know, it's higher ping. So you may see that translated into some of the fights. And we have an army here from China getting right to fire. This is an amazing start for Team China. Beautiful job there from Lix as well to get that villager right before it garrisons. And so Brazil did move forward on this side. Looks like Vivi took some losses. But overall, really nice start. I'm not sure exactly what happened on the left side. I see Fire's chasing now. I see Goku's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So clearly they weren't really able to keep track. And now Vivi, he's going to, I think, be pretty happy considering the circumstances here. He only lost one Vil. His gold is defended. His base is kind of walled up. And he'll be hearing that good things are happening through Yo on the other side. Dogao has to defend himself, which he'll do pretty nicely here. And Miguel's still patrolling around looking for damage, but he's actually circling back right now so they don't take more damage. Here come the archers now. And this could be an issue for the pocket, but the flank should be fine. If Lix notices this, Lix should be able to be around to defend. He didn't send a big army forward to Fire's base. There's still a couple of those archers just behind there. That's a lot of scouts from Yo. Holy cow. And we have bloodlines on the way for Miguel. He's going to have 9 scouts as well. And Vivi's pushing forward with him. But a slightly better start for China. You notice the Vil count's actually even across the board for the teams. Military count slightly ahead for China. This is Arabia. And the reason people used to play Team Game Arabia all the time is because this map can produce some crazy moments, but not so crazy for Brazil here. This is horrible. I think Dogao didn't know the army was there for China or just couldn't get his units grouped up properly. Does recover there with a nice pickoff. And another nice pickoff there as well. But Miguel's going to need to be his buffer. The scouts are going to break through. Fire's just had a nightmare start here. The archers and the scouts for Bad Koala. Bad Koala and Lix have combined so nicely together here. And that Goku He is going to encounter Lix on the front. Now, Goku only has one job. Lix is still focused over here. So if Lix is still focused over here, he might miss micro that, and that's kind of what happens. Now, I'm actually seeing a whole lot more orange bodies there than gray, and now we have the scouts here from Bad Koala, and he just cleared up everything. Like, Fire's completely toast. This puts Brazil in a must-win scenario on the other side. Because Fire is down below 30 villagers. He won't get his tower up. Oh, man. This is bad. It's actually really surprising as well. Like, it's not really that common, what we've seen here, that one pocket player gets completely overwhelmed like that. And Goku has to come back to try and stabilize an already dead player, and China's doing a great job to just pull Brazil away. It's enough army here where Brazil has to respect it and chase it, because if they don't, it'll probably go to Miguel. So they're going to chase this down, but this gives China all the time in the world to think about Castle Age. And Fire is pretty much out of it at the moment. So Dogao and Miguel need to be the key here. They actually have just clicked up to Castle Age. They get a full clear on this army. And this is no joke here, guys, because Vivi's not going to have the archer numbers to compete with Dogao. Army count's still there for Brazil, that they can maybe move forward and use that now. Still, though, Fire is in a really bad spot. And Goku not ahead of Lix at all. Lix has had a really nice game, and shout out to Bad Koala for the start here. He's the worst player on China. He's the least known player on China. To say he's the worst is maybe the wrong use of the word, because he's a pro, right? But in 1v1s, you'd normally associate this guy with kind of the messy style, not necessarily meta of any kind. But he's looked really good. And they were very quick to move forward and double someone from Team Brazil. And they're going to try it again here, too, with all these scouts and archers. And it feels like now Goku doesn't have the support. So now Goku's got to hold 1v2 with Fire pretty much out of the game. And there's a hole! There's a hole there. Of course there's a hole. This gets so much worse for Brazil now, because Goku at least had a chance to get his upgrades here soon. And it just was a double check. We've all been there when you're house walling on elevation. It's one of those weird things where you say thanks, thanks AoE2. But also, if you have been playing for 10 plus years, you've got to check that. Again, I've seen it happen so many times at the highest level, a hole in a wall. So it's just kind of part of the game. But now he's pushed off of gold. He's going to struggle to afford his upgrades and more archers. And now Lix is up. Lix is up with an army on top of him. We've got scouts that are going to be upgraded here soon. It's all about this right now for Brazil. Like, Miguel and Dogao need some damage. Dogao is coming from the other side here. He's getting his upgrades just as Vivi is. Vivi wasn't able to protect his gold fully. He thought the tower would be enough. It really hasn't been. And Vivi is getting completely slaughtered right now. And pretty soon, if Vivi's not careful, Vivi could be in a dangerous spot as well, where he might not be able to recover this position. So Goku's got to try. He's got to try and hold. He's trying to re-wall this. That's not going to happen. This is a painful situation. Oh my god. Vivi actually misclicked the market. So it has been re-walled. And Knights are going to be here from Yo to support Vivi. Vivi's still got his woodline. He's still got some vills on golds. And Goku, because he was able to get the re-wall down, might be okay to at least get back on gold fully and continue to make the crossbows. I love Dogao's position over Vivi. I like Miguel's position compared to Yo. I think that the Brazilians on the right side are ahead, but they're slightly ahead. They're not, they don't have this massive advantage. It's winnable from here. Look at the military count for Brazil is just crazy because Dogao's got 34 crossbows. And I'm loving the coordination from Miguel and Dogao. It's as advertised. Noticing this army, getting some chip shots there. Goku is still trying to deal with the annoying Lix. Lix has had a great game. Lix knows that Goku wasn't able to get ballistics on time. So Goku didn't get ballistics yet because he was off gold. And so he really hung around there. I think Vivi's just getting ballistics. Again, the positive for China, at least there's still crossbows with ballistics on this side. Vivi's got 3 ranges. He's got gold. He can temporarily get back on wood. This seems like Brazil is going to shift their focus towards Yo now. And meanwhile, Fire we haven't talked about in a long time. He's going to be in Castle Age in 20 seconds. So he needs to get some knights going. And probably just make as many knights as possible and have that be his only focus here. He is Lithuanians. Maybe could reboom back into the game. Goku on that side does have 10 crossbows to at least match Licks, but Goku can't really move out because there's also going to be the knights from Bad Koala, and those are Magyar knights. The knights here from Miguel are going to dive somewhat on the crossbows from Vivi and make Vivi's life difficult. Dogal's got crossbows on the woodline. Man, Dogal is so good. Dogal is so good. How does he have this many crossbows? And, I mean, adding the second TC now, it's insane. He killed 10 more villagers on this side with the crossbows. And look at the eco counts. Look at the military counts. This is still a really close game. A lot of pressure coming to Yo now. Vivi, anytime he moves out to try and help, he just gets pounced on. And Dogal and Miguel are going to do what they always do, and they're going to hit the production here. Because Yo needs more knight numbers. So if you camp the stable, any new knight that pops out gets sniped. And then you eliminate the stable, and that's one less building for him to produce more knights out of. This is a lot of knights for Yo, though. There's more army coming forward for Brazil. It feels like if they can get this army here, they win the fight easily. But can they get it here right now? Meanwhile, Fire is... Well, he's having a rough time. He's having a rough time. It's gotten worse for him. But if anything, this just gives more reason for Miguel and Dogal to continue their push against Yo. And look at the amount of crossbows here for Dogal. This is a really tough position for Yo to be in because he can't really fight it, but he almost kind of has to fight it. Brazil are going to force an engagement here. Miguel groups up enough knights around the crossbows to be happy. Dogal is moving it, picking off the crossbows with half the group, as the other half of the group is melting the knights. And guys, Dogal's at 50 crossbows. He's still going to push Yo into a bad position as Miguel is full booming behind this. Miguel and Dogal can win this game for their team. There's not enough army for Yo and for Vivi to deal with this. Now, meanwhile, they better win because Goku and Fire are in really bad spots. Goku and Fire are maybe like, yo, we're dead here. And Dogal and Miguel are probably telling him, yeah, but they're dead on this side too, dude. So just, don't worry about it. We can still win this game. Just do what you can to stay in it. Goku's like, I'm trying my best. Goku could be defeated here. His TC's about to go down. I do wonder, at what point will China send Yo some help from Bad Koala? It feels like this is the moment now where they can justify Bad Koala coming over here with more knight numbers. Because Yo's got problems. So I think when you've done this much damage, obviously you want to maybe move over, get to Fire, and continue to hit him. But you have to hit Miguel and Dogal with this army. You just have to. And you could tell at least these knights are here to defend and work with Yo. And I think these knights would be better suited going over towards Miguel. Now, Miguel's got some knights over here, too, in all fairness. Man, what a start. It still has to be advantage China, though, right? Because two of the players for Brazil are pretty much out of it. And, oh, man, there's no knight buffer. There's no knight buffer here. And Dogal is going to get completely surrounded. And this is the moment for China. They finally find an opportunity to surround these crossbows. Miguel he didn't have the numbers here because he sent the numbers over this way to keep Fire in the game. And now the crossbow mass just disintegrates. And the game gets flipped on its head. 100 army for Team China. It's only 60 for Brazil. And every player is doing pretty good on China as far as the eco is concerned. As Fire will lose his TC. It felt like the type of game where if the pressure ever stopped for Brazil on the right-hand side, that the game would end. And let's see if Miguel can bring this back now on his own to try and bring Fire back into it. This is simply where his knights were. And it's a tough decision. I think I would have honestly opted to just let Fire continue to die. But that's probably a really selfish, really bad move. But my feeling was if Fire's was not contributing anyways, they needed to kill Yo at least in return. Beautiful game from Miguel. He's had a stellar performance here. 105 vills. Beautiful game from Dogao as well, but there's 4 players on the other side contributing with Army. And there's simply 2 realistically for Brazil right now. And China now will advance against Dogao, and Dogao is going to need Miguel. And Miguel is just needed in so many different areas right now. And I don't think it's realistic for the poor guy to be everywhere he needs to be right now. Vivi, nice recovery from him this game. Nice holds. He could have been completely stomped, but he stayed in it. He advances forward. He'll start to lose. Dogao will start to lose his ranges here. Miguel can't really go help because Bad Koala's here. Again, what a beastly performance from Bad Koala. And the GG is actually called as Lix hits the Imperial Age, which I didn't even notice. And so, honestly, a really good game. It's a bit of a shame that this back and forth didn't happen longer, and we didn't get to see this one to go imp. But it really came down to the coordination on the weaker player's side, if you could say that. For Brazil, their strongest players maybe outplayed Vivi and Yo a little bit on the right, but they didn't have it with Fire and Goku here. And things kind of snowballed out of control when Bad Koala and Lix went forward and hit Fire. Fire took some early losses, and then I think what happened there, Goku and Fire were advancing forward together, but then Fire had to go home to defend himself, and then Goku was alone, so then Goku got caught out the next time he moved out. So you really need to coordinate that first attack. Dogao and Miguel did it really well, and then Lix and Bad Koala did it really well as well. That's amazing. If you're Yo and Vivi, the top 2 in China, and you're looking at the scores right there for your team, you're like, wow, we're set up nicely to win this thing if Yo and Vivi have an off game, if we have an off game, and then the other 2 step up like that. There's the KD for Bad Koala and Lix. As you can see, it was very smooth. Economically, Bad Koala did a great job as well. Obviously, Miguel had the best boom in the game, but he was Persians after all. So Arabia snowballs quickly. Long series ahead of us. China wins the 4v4. And I think it's 1v1 next. So decision-making time for Brazil and China on who they want to use in the 1v1s now. And chat, you forgot to remind me about the trees. Chat, this is on you. This isn't on me. What am I supposed to know how to control my own stream? Come on, what are we doing here, people? Well, we got Alpine Game 2. We got Brazil versus China in the semifinals. The map is Alpine, and there are 8 boars around the ring very close by, and everybody starts with a horse. So keep an eye for those boars. The players, this is often like a race for the boars. And they want to bring in as many of those boars as possible. The wood lines around the center ring obviously are closer, but they're more awkward to make use of. And then the back area is where you're going to see expanding for goldstone hunts and wood lines later on. There are 2 tiles of gold near the TCs, but there's no stone towards the middle. All the stone would be towards the outside. All right. Let me just add the flags here real quick. So far, it doesn't seem too crazy with the boars. Sometimes you'll see players blocking each other with their horses. But it's been a fairly relaxed start right now, considering, like, at least compared to what could be happening. So, because usually you see some people get really greedy with it, and they try and do this and take the very forward boars first. And there, Dogao was thinking about taking this one, but Yo's horse spotted the Vil. Ooh, and Yo even baited the garrison there. That was actually intentional. But Dogao's going to wall in his Vil. No loom, by the way. Sometimes the boars can hit through the corner. Okay, thankfully for Dogao, it's not the case. And he's just going to kill that boar out there. Yo doesn't know about that boar because he's scouting the other boars. But I think Dogao will at least have 3. And there's another one over here, which keeps, like, walking behind the wood line, which is kind of annoying, so. You cannot eat the horse. So the horse is just a scout. There's no possibility to eat the horse. There was a map in some other tournament recently, though, where you could eat the wild horses on the map. Okay, Dogao saw this. And the boar does not want to follow him. And here it goes. Okay, so it still doesn't want to follow him. Oh my god, it's trolling him. Okay, so now he goes. This gives Yo a little bit more time because Yo knew about this, so there should be a horse on the way from Yo. Oh, his horse was over here. So now he's trying to use the Vil, but the horse for Dogao is here to block. And Yo is even trying to block the boar with his Vil now. And he de-aggroes it. He de-aggroes it with the house trick. But now, Yo, you don't have Loom. And now the boar is going to kill you. And now he de-aggroes it so the villager doesn't die. And then Dogao takes the boar again. Okay, so advantage Dogao with the boar race. And just don't shoot it with the TC now, Dogao. It's already so weak. Yeah, I've seen players forget how weak the boar is and then just kill it with the TC. So I guess, I mean, advantage Dogao because he still has this other boar back here, which he doesn't see. That's funny. And Yo might feel like he has to take this. Dude, this is bold, Yo. Dude, I don't know. Even Yo can't get this boar home, right? I think what helps him is Dogao will never expect that Yo is actually going to go for this. So he doesn't have his horse waiting. Now his horse is on the way. Again, the boar doesn't immediately follow. And now Dogao's got it. Oh, man. This is huge for Brazil. This is so nice. I think... Do we have a boar counter, guys? Who's the professional boar counter in chat? That's got to be a job, right? Some of you guys have experience on that. I would say that it's 5. Or maybe... No, I think it's 4 for Dogao. And I think it was 3 for Yo. And then this one died out here. But it could be like 5v2. Because Yo is kind of struggling with food underneath the TC as well, so. I think it's 4v3. No. I think it's 4v3, but 1 was lamed. I think that's what it is. Obviously, I could go back, but we have feudal age to worry about here. So, lots of food to work with for Dogao. He also still has his sheep, because his geese, because he didn't need to take them after having the boars. Now, the meta here on this map has often been spears and skirms. Byzantines have cheap spears and skirms. Incas actually have cheap spears and skirms. So, and then Incas also have the potential to go eagles against the spears and skirms, which could be really strong. So, I really like the choice of Incas, honestly. The start should be nice here for Dogao. Up at similar times. Dogao will be up a little bit later. He did skip Loom, though, so he has 2 more villagers working right now. And Dogao going to scout the front. And he sees the barracks just now going up from Yo. Now, I wonder if Dogao's going to go, if he's going to open Eagle here. You're never expecting scouts. There's not even a starting scout, so adding a spear might not actually add a lot of value. I think he's going to try and go Eagles and skirms. And would make some sense. There's the range there for Yo. Remember, Byzantines get the free vision upgrades. And the longer the game goes with Byzantines, the better they feel. I think Yo's going to be alright resource-wise. He's still kind of at the limit, but he should be able to research double bid-axe. I think he's actually slightly paranoid because he saw the Vils on gold that there could be man-at-arms coming. I think that's why he's scouting over here. The couple Vils on gold and the barracks made him think man-at-arms, when in actuality, Dogao is just going to be going eagles right now, so. JBG, thanks for all the gifted subs. You did, I think you ended up hitting, you did 10. You did 10, dude. Thank you for that. That was really nice. Also, Rebel Boot, thanks for the Prime. D's Nuts 90. Thanks for the 10 months. That's my nickname. How'd you know my second username? Oh, man. How'd you know my Smurf account? Dogao will head back here to the hunt. Does Yo see any of the hunt? Yes, he does. So he'll head back to the hunt as well. Yo is going to mix in a couple archers with his skirms to have a bit more firepower. Again, I think initially he might have done this because he was concerned about the man-at-arms, but it would help against the eagles as well. In Castle Age is where you don't really want archers against the eagles, but in Feudal Age, it's still nice. Eagles take a long time to mass, but it's nice. It feels very smooth for Dogal right now economically. He just needs to work in some more farms here and get that mill up. There's a lot of transitions that have to happen economically right now. It was double range for Yo, so Yo doesn't have the blacksmith yet. So he's delaying the fletching upgrade, and fletching is already going to be in for Dogal. And Dogal has the Eagles as well. So this is a good moment here for Dogal to really chip away. It does not take much on this map to snowball to victory because villagers are so close to the action. Look at the amount of villagers on stragglers for Yo as he's going to need to get farms down. He might be waiting for the blacksmith. There's a lot of things that Yo needs to do right now. And here comes Dogal with Eagles and Skirms. This looks really nice for Brazil. Reminder, whoever plays in this game does not get the opportunity to play one of the 2v2s. I don't believe it's both. Maybe someone could verify that. But that's been the format the whole tournament. Whoever plays the 1v1 will miss out on a game. So if Brazil, obviously game 1 they lose, that doesn't feel great. But if they win this, then Yo isn't available for China. Could be a pretty big deal. It would be absolutely disastrous to lose out on Dogal in a 2v2 and then also lose this game. So this is a must-win for Brazil right now. Nice patience from Yo, though. Despite not having the upgrades, he's actually done a pretty good job with the fights here. And he's still struggling because it's all right next to his economy, but he's doing a pretty good job. Dogal's a very patient player, though. And he still has these Eagles, so I think he's just happy to be in his position. He doesn't want to take any unnecessary engagements. And Dogal gets the first kill there. This is all right next to... Ooh, that was a big miss, Micro. I think that's a control group issue there. I think he meant to click the Eagles forward and accidentally clicked the Skirms forward. Ask me how I know how to spot that. And Dogal backing away because he's low on Skirms. So we've got Yo getting housed because of the pressure. New lumber camp on the back. Hunt still around. And it's still manageable for Yo. It is. Like, so you're doing 1 damage a hit against the Eagles. But you still... The Eagles have 50 HP. So if you get to like 25 Skirms, which seems like a lot, but it's doable with Byzantines, you're two-shotting the Eagles still. Like, this is still a lot of damage for Feudal Age. In Castle Age is when the Eagles get faster, have more attack, and slice these things up. But I think ultimately that's what Dogal wants. Like, Dogal really would love to get to Castle Age. But he can't skip any steps here. Dogal and Yo getting some kills. And now we have Forging for the Eagles. Okay, so... I love the Forging choice against Skirms because armor doesn't actually help you. You're already receiving 1 damage. That's the minimum you can receive anyways. So armor against Skirms here in this scenario does not help you because the Skirms only do 3 damage and you have 2 pierce. Getting the 3rd pierce doesn't change a thing. And the Forging helps you snipe some Vills. And Skirms, of course. But like, Forging Eagles, 5 attack, that's no joke. And that's what Dogal got Forging for, I'm sure. Here he comes for some villagers, but the tower comes up from Yo. Yo is going to lose 0 villagers. And so, again, maybe just a slight misclick there for Dogal, but I'm still really impressed with his economic setup behind it. The farming eco, another mill on the hunt. He's just got so much control. Like, he's showing such crazy patience here. And there's still lots of areas where Dogal can pressure Yo. And here Yo's going to toss away a Skirm, trying to get to the rest of his units. And he simply has Skirms, so he's got to fight with Vills as well. I think Dogal will take this. Dogal says, sure, save your Skirms then. I'll use my Skirms versus your Skirms, and I'll let my Eagles feast. Now, this is a way that you could lose all your Eagles, too. Actually, only 2 villagers went down there for Yo. Still a lot more are weak, of course. But Dogal is in cruise control here. I love, like, the key to this for me is that Dogal basically matched the amount of skirmishers his opponent has had on 1 range for the most part. This range has been producing 81% of the time ever since it's been built, which is crazy. Whereas Yo's both ranges here have been producing 50% of the time ever since they were built. So 1 range basically matching the 2 range, and then he also has the barracks to produce the Eagles. and he clicks up to Castle Age. Really smooth play here from Dogal. And Dogal played amazing in the 4v4 to start off the day as well, right? Yo is trying to go tower defense now. And maybe thinking about Cataphract. So he goes tower defense, and now he goes counterattack. Which is an interesting idea. He needs some type of control here. He needs to start taking some offensive fights. But 2 skirms going down there isn't going to help. Here, he might be able to snipe a fill from Dogal, but Dogal saves it. And when you wall up like this, you can't take more hunt. You can't really farm around. There's villagers and towers still for Yo. Dogal's collected 1,000 resources more. 90 seconds from Castle Age. He's dropping a second barracks for more eagles. And Yo's not really that close to clicking up here. Really impressive patience from Dogal. He's made this all look so easy. Like, I've seen Byzantines just snowball with skirm numbers and spears and beat so many different civs. It's crazy. I've seen Byzantines win this matchup so many times. Just because, you know, and then you're just left thinking, well, that's Byzantines for you, right? You don't need to do anything special. If you can't do massive damage to them in Feudal Age, there's problems. But now the problem for Yo is these Eagles will become Eagle... Well, they're still Eagle Scouts here in 10 seconds, but they get a stat increase, and I think all the skirms for Yo will go down. It's bad enough where he might consider just tapping out here. He'll lose every single skirm. There's no doubt in my mind these skirms will die. And this is before Dogal gets Eagle Warrior. Dogal's going to drop a monastery. I think he's expecting knights or longswords or some other choice that could counter this. So he's preemptively adding that. And now he's going to bring skirms and eagles towards Yo's base. And Yo is going to tower his gold. I mean, if you tower the gold, you then don't have enough stone to build a castle for cataphracts, which really hurts. There's the second TC for Dogal. Yo's trying to do what he can to stay in this right now. And here Dogal will dive the tower. All the vills aren't protected. Yo doesn't lose one, but they're idle. And he'll lose the tower here soon. He lost all of his skirms. Actually, he didn't. I can't tell. I think these are new skirms, or maybe some of them are still remaining from before. And he could probably try and buy a castle for cataphracts. And if he castle drops on the front, like, that's no joke. If you castle drop this, it takes out the opponent's TC and could kill a bunch of vills. So I think Yo needs the castle. He probably wants to make a knight or two as well. But the castle's still key for me. Skirm still just coming right back to the tower. Yo still 30 seconds from going to the next stage. He has found stone elsewhere. Okay, so he's found the stone down here. But this tower is going to go down, and there's 4 vills in there that are going to die as well then. And again, just beautiful play from Dogal. He knows exactly what he needs to do right now. It's just, is he expecting something extreme? His monks seem to kind of be waiting around a little bit. Yo has a market. Yo could buy the stone. And this could be... this could be a change to the game here. There's the castle. I don't think this castle can easily be denied right now. Sure, you can convert a vill. Maybe you send an eagle or two out to try and deny it. But that castle is most likely going up. And Yo's still in the game. He's still alive. Dogal's on 2 TCs, but one of them is underneath this castle, guys. And his relic as well. Get the relic and get out of here. His monastery as well. Yo absolutely has a chance. I think Dogal played this game perfectly, but he completely forgot about this aspect of this map and how a castle right on the face can completely turn things around. He's still going to have some monks around, so Cataphract shouldn't be able to do a ton. There's the new monastery. But this makes... This puts Dogal in a defensive position, but Dogawa's Eagle's here! Ooh, this is huge. This is huge, because just finding this, getting a couple more villager kills, is going to make him feel so much better about the situation. I'm not even sure Yo can finish this TC. Because I don't know if he can repair... Never mind. I think it completes. It's super close, though. TC, yeah, completes. The Eagles will probably need to move away. The monks are on their own. He did actually... Oh, this is another monk with another relic. Okay. The monks could get sniped by the skirms. There's no eagles around. That would be a horrible loss for Dogal. He sees the skirms. We'll probably send a couple more eagles this way. And now here he sees cataphracts. Dude, cataphracts wreck eagles. It's kind of all about the monks right now. And Dogal's 7 or so farmers will be exposed here as well, right? And Sanctity on the way for Dogal. Needs to keep these monks in it. Don't want to be losing monks to leftover skirms. He does lose one there. He also converts the knight, though. It would be really messy to lose another monk to skirms here. You really don't want to. You got to try and heal up if you can. Yo is getting some nice value here. Really nice value. That's another dead monk. They're not cheap, these monks. Guys, this is just such a Yo thing to still have a chance in this game. To find a way, right? Like, how? He's 20 vills behind now, which is, of course, not great. But he's going to be on 3 TCs. His eco's going to be flowing pretty efficiently. He's got stone. He's got gold. He's Byzantines. And he also has a lot of initiative right now. But Dogal, probably in a position to match the 3rd TCs here in a second. He does have 2 relics. Eventually, he could lose this one. But actually, that won't happen. Because it's directly underneath the castle, so it would need to be attacked. I think what Yo actually needs right now is light cav, so he can go around and kill the monks. And I like the outposting from Dogal, so there's no surprises on the sides, because he knows exactly how Yo's going to play it. He knows Yo's going to be moving around in these areas. That outpost works for itself. Here, he noticed this, gets a conversion on a cataphract, has more monks around. Yo is getting devotion, but that's a pretty expensive technology. It doesn't mean that the monks won't get conversions either. Oh, the archer, though. The archer, though. The archer, though. Oh, but devotion's in now, so I think the monk goes down. Really good job from Yo as Dogal advances forward now. But Yo's been getting some damage in. Also getting some damage over here. And another TC for Dogal. Sneakily. 15 villager lead. I like this a lot because he's basically... He knows that Yo has to bring cataphracts over, so advancing forward with the monks changes things. And I love this castle. Guys, how are Kamioks against cataphracts? They've got to be one of the best forms of infantry against cataphracts there is, right? Little eco upgrade check here for Dogal. Make sure he's not behind. I think Kamioks should be pretty good. I can't tell you how many times I've seen Kamiok v Cataphract, though. Kamioks certainly are pretty cool. I agree with that. Oh, man, but Dogal, my friend, your monks. I know you can't get close to the tower, but he's got too many different things to look at right now. The scouts come in. The scouts are going to kill off the monks. Disaster for Dogal. And Yo holds on for China. Takes the score lead and will clear up this raiding army. And it's just so tough right now for Dogal to get back into any type of army control. He doesn't know what to make or what to rely on. And like Cataphract, I mean, I would expect Yo to just meander around the map with this, but then also go up to 4th and a 5th TC. Just keep booming, keep raiding. Yo's going to at least have 2 relics, because you got to think eventually he'll take this monastery. And Dogal is probably... He may not realize he's got a 15 villager lead, or 12 at this point, but... I think based on the score, I'd be thinking that Yo was going to win this game. And it might even be a little frustrating, too, because you had such a good position. And you feel like, at least with losing the monks there... that it's been a bit sloppy here. Now he's going to try and switch crossbow with his monks. I don't hate it. So I guess we won't see Kamioks, though, which kind of makes me sad. Of course, we could eventually see the skirmishers from the Byzantines then. But of course, we could always just see the Eagles again from the Aztec player, or Inca player. A Cataphract kills 5 units. They did absolutely nothing. Wait, so there's 6 relics on this map? Okay, so it's going to be 3-3 with relics. This monastery will go down for Dogal. It's funny, but I think if Dogal would have dropped a bunch of foundations of houses where the castle went down for Yo to at least prevent Yo from building a castle that ranged his TC, I think this whole game goes way different. Yo's getting +2 armor for the Katas. 14 Cataphracts. Oh my goodness. And, but he's giving Dogal some time. Dogal's cooking. 103 Vils. Idling his TCs to click up to the Imperial Age right now. And, oh boy! I think Yo feels he has full army control, and he wanted to bring Vils for a castle on the left, but this gets caught out. The Katas have to come over. This is nice for Dogal. We'll see how many Vils he finds, but the Eagles have basically done nothing. I don't even know if he was controlling these. He probably was and just patrolled them. But that's a nice find. This could be bad for Dogal. Dogal, you do not want to lose your monks here. Off to the TC he goes. He'll keep most of them alive. And now a castle coming up here from Yo. As Dogal goes to complete his own castle. And Dogal's Eagles get completely shredded. But Dogal is up to Imp faster. And the Light Cav swoop back in. Dogal right back into the TC. But wow, an interesting game here. Also, really interesting spot for Yo to castle. This is on a hill. And it's with a purpose. On the production buildings and everything. A tough situation for Dogal right now. But winnable. Somehow winnable. So, I saw, you know, this is classic Twitch chatter. Sorry, guys. But, like, I saw a bunch of people call the GG when the castle went up from Yo, and then Yo took a really good fight. They're like, no, it's over. But remember, I thought it was over. I thought Dogal had already won before that. So props to both. It's been a crazy fight to get to this position. And if Dogal gets Bracer on these crossbows, the crossbowmen are going to take out the Cataphracts. So that's why we see the elite skirm choice from Yo. And there should be Trebs. I mean, we'll see if Dogal makes Trebs from this castle, but he's going to make a castle over here where there's stone and gold. And he's going to really start to expand here. I love the confidence from Dogal to move out. I'd be a little concerned about moving out with just 20 units before Imp. Yo might even think that there's no way Dogal is faster than him to Imp, but there he is. Treb needs to come out. And there it is. At the moment, Dogal's actually pop-capped at like the worst possible time. Tell me he's building houses. This is crazy, 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 crazy. To be delayed with Trebs. That's the thing with Incas. If you lose a house, you lose 10 pop space, right? I think he was also delayed with Bracer, if I'm not mistaken. I was very distracted with these Vils, I think. There goes the castle. Bracer's still 20 seconds away. There's some skirms here with good upgrades. There's Cataphracts with good upgrades. Dogal still doesn't have Bracer. I don't think Dogal's castle goes up. It might end up being a pretty good fight, though, because he has Bracer. So we keep an eye on that. We keep an eye on the Trebs here. We keep an eye on Yo's castle. Yo's castle will definitely go up. And Yo still only 10 skirms. Just now getting some of his upgrades. Dogal has decisions to make on where he Trebs right now. Is he going to still complete this castle? I mean, I think this castle you expect to go down, but you just want to keep Yo off the gold and Yo off the stone for as long as possible. And here he's already got 2 Trebs, and Yo doesn't have one out yet. So Yo might lose that one too. 40 on food for Yo. That's better than what Dogal has. But Dogal's got a lot of gold and a lot of spread around the map with his eco, right? So like, he can afford a lot of switching into different units now. This castle needs to be quick walled in. Castle will go up. Nice attempt from Yo. He's obviously going to make a Treb here, but so will Dogal. And Yo will lose his castle. What a game. Obviously, in a best of 7, if Dogal loses this, it's still doable for Brazil. But without him in a 2v2, it's going to be tough. I think Dogal needs to take this for Brazil. Again, some people might question this castle, like continuing to build it here when you know you're ultimately going to lose it. I think this is a castle that he's just using for map control, so he can make a tech switch of some kind and keep Yo off that stone and gold. Essentially opened up opportunities for him to take this area. What would actually be sick is a castle right where Yo just had one, and then starting to treb Yo in the middle. I think Yo expects that, though. Yo can see that. He sees the Arbalest on the hill, but he didn't see Elite Eagle. So now the Cataphracts, remember, he's got these different groups of them, of skirms, sorry, but the Cataphracts are only just that one main group. They need to be everywhere, but they're here in the right spot. And Dogal is to back away with his trebs there. And Dogal now will need some Eagle production over here. Dogal is housed again with Incas. He really needs to just build more houses. It's actually crazy to me that he's been population capped at such critical times. Like, these houses just offer so much value with the Incas. You don't expect that. Dogal will take pretty good fight here, pushing back skirms. Still forcing some stone repairs from Yo. More houses have come up for Dogal, but Dogal will lose these trebs. He loses a lot of the arbs. His arb count is way down. Yo will gain this stone, gain this gold then, making it all the more important that Dogal somehow pushes back here. But this Cataphract skirm combo makes it so difficult each and every time. It's still these 4 trebs. Like, Dogal wants to win the fight on this hill and castle it and push the middle. That's his focus right now because he's losing elsewhere. But I think it's very easy for Yo to know where the focus is now. There's nowhere else of extreme importance. It's got to be right here, so he won't leave the hill. Cataphract skirm has been a counter to Mezzo before the Incas were even in the game. This is something, when it was just Aztec Mayans, we saw a lot of Cataphract skirm as the goal. Obviously, there were only, what, 24 civs then? So I'm thinking back to my Age of Conquerors days. I think you need every little upgrade you can snag right now. You need to max out at like 80 army and go for a big snowball fight if you're Dogal. You have to hope that you can fight before Yo gets Elite Cataphract. But I think regular Cataphracts are still so good. And maybe that's why the monks are here, to convert them. Yo has a lot of work to do. He has to kill off those monks. The monks are chasing to get conversions. As he does this, his skirmishers are getting attacked by the eagles. Dogal will gain the hill. It's 190 population right now. And Dogal finally gets the position he wants. Now, I'd love to see villagers come in and drop a castle on this hill to fortify it. Yo is getting Elite Cataphract right now. Remember, though, he only has 2 castles. And it's very likely he's going to lose this one. So he won't really have the Cataphract production that he's going to want. He will drop another one, but that will take time. Skirmishers are all that's left to defend these trebs. If Dogal notices, he could snipe the trebs, but he doesn't want to lose his mass. We have fabric shields coming in now for the Inca player to add additional armor to these eagles. How important that will be against Cataphracts, I'm not really sure. Every little bit helps, though. It's a really good upgrade, usually. But when I see Elite Cataphracts on the other side, I'm still not too confident about the Inca player's position. This castle goes down. Huge, huge, huge moment. And also, a couple raids here. Dogal's going to kill some vills on that castle, but I think that castle will go up. These Arbalest are the key to killing the Cataphracts, and they are the key to killing... To winning the game. You need the Eagles for the skirms. You need the Arbs against the Catas. Skirms you can make forever if you're Byzantines. Cataphracts, not so much. Bombard Cannon down there for Yo. And what a close game. And Yo's just stacking another castle in the middle like a madman because he doesn't think that he's going to lose the fights. But I don't know about that one, Yo. You're losing the fights. You're losing the fights big time. Cataphracts are still a really expensive unit. And Dogal has crazy gold saturation economically. Like, he's been taking gold all over this map, like we said before. He did lose trebs, though. And there's going to be a Treb go down for Yo. Oof. So now Yo doesn't have anything against this Treb. The relics for Yo are also in the middle of the map. Dogao with a sick turnaround. It looked really rough for him after the castle drop came up and after his eco started to get raided. I think this gold is key. And he might be able to raid down here a little bit. Look at Dogao sit on that gold with that eagle. That's with intention. That's not an accident. He knows how important those golds can be. There's actually only 20k gold left on the map, which is still a decent amount. And now the cataphracts are going to raid. And Logistica's on the way too. So now there's going to be trample damage on the cataphracts. Still really liking the production from Dogao. Feels like there's a big difference between producing out of archery ranges and barracks versus the archery ranges and castles. But Yo's up to 4 castles. And, like, that's a crazy cleanup there for Yo. Those eagles did nothing. Man, Yo really needs a bombard cannon or something to deal with these Trebs, though. The raids have worked out. Arbs are here, though, to try and defend from that. Another defensive castle for Dogao. Still really surprised that he didn't castle this hill right near the Trebs. Or even like in front of his own Trebs. It really helps defend in these scenarios. But maybe he wants to save the stone because stone's getting pretty limited. And once he takes out the castle from Yo in the middle, he wants to castle there himself. That would obviously be maybe a better position. It's interesting, Yo is trying to raid with the cataphracts right now. I'm not sure that's the unit you want to raid with. They're not the best raiding unit. They're the unit you want to be engaging with. And I guess he just wanted to kill the Trebs. So, okay, he wants to kill the Trebs. He'll take the Trebs. But at what cost here? He'll lose his catas. He's already lost the castle. He builds another castle. This is crazy, dude. How much stone is left? 5k stone. I love this map. There's resources everywhere. This is the area we talked about moments ago. This is like the one corner that's relatively untouched. So we'll probably see a lot of army control for that area now. Dogao's going to see this castle now and say, are you freaking kidding me? He's already taken out 2 castles in the middle. Dogao, I'm seeing groups of idols that used to be miners. They're now going to have to shift around. Cataphracts may find some kills. Dogao's making Trebs down here. Yo does not see the castle from Dogao on that gold. It's anyone's game to take right now. And Yo feels like he cannot lose with Byzantines with these castle positions if he plays it safe enough. But I think he wasn't expecting Dogao to start to treb him from this side. If Dogao takes this area away from Yo, Yo could start to crumble. Because this will reach a point where Yo will not be able to make catas. Here he's got gold. He's got... can't double click it for some reason. But that's, let's just say 2,000 golds. Here he's got a lot too, but like he could lose this in an instant. He's not going to have this for much longer. I like this though. Now he's going to start a Treb war against Dogao. And so as Dogao tries to take the south, he's likely going to lose the north. That's a lot of his food in Wood Eco. And he's been winning fights when he has 50 arbs. He can't get 50 arbs up here with the amount of army he has down in the south. Is it worth trying to go for Halb right now if you're Dogao? Like, Halbs at least don't cost gold. Maybe a still kind of okay-ish against Catas. Yeah, I don't know. You probably lose everything regardless. And then you're also significantly worse against the skirms. I don't think it's a mistake to go double gold unit. I think it's... Dogao recognizes that he has to spend every ounce of gold that he has because this is only going to get worse for him against Byzantines. And here come the trample damage cataphracts. And they're going to... Dude, they'll just slaughter this. They'll just slaughter this. And now the Trebs come in from Yo to take this castle. Dogao has to be pumping out vills elsewhere because this whole corner in the north is lost. Yo actually brings in a bombard cannon to try and save his castle down here. Oh, he took out a Treb. He loses the cannon, so he does lose the castle. But he's still doing significant damage in the north, guys. And I think that Dogao is losing this game now. There was another game with Byzantines. I said, how many cataphracts do you need for it to be the number of cataphracts? And a lot of people said 40. We've reached that point now for Yo. 40 katas could just fight everything. Dogao's trying to rally the troops, trying to get a group of arbs in the middle of these ranges. But the reinforcements are just getting picked off. There's so many villagers here that will die. And Yo loses a bombard cannon here. But Yo knows that he just needs skirmishers now. There's no eagles down here. And Dogao, you could tell, is distracted, runs right into the skirms. Because he's putting out fires left and right. Dogao taps out. And Yo wins the game. What a crazy comeback from Yo. What a performance. He was down by 20 vills. It looked so bad in feudal age and even early castle age. But I do have to say, from Dogao's perspective, you're definitely kicking yourself because of that castle that went up on your face. Like, at this point of the game, he's sitting pretty. He's so far ahead. I really do think if he would have just built houses here or like a siege workshop and just made it so Yo could never build a castle on his TC. So Yo could still get a castle, but not have it directly be on his face, I think it would have changed the whole game. And also, I think Dogao had some housing issues, so it wouldn't have actually hurt to place some houses along the front there. Man, Dogao's going to want that one back. He is going to be so frustrated because he had such a good lead. But that's what Yo does, dude. That's what Yo does, and that's what Byzantines could do. Crazy KD. Yo just held on. He didn't collect as many resources as his opponent, but he did not seem to care. So now, best of 7, China up 2-0. Even more pressure on Brazil to deliver in the following games. And then when we get to game 4, Brazil will not be able to play with Dogao, and China will not be able to play with Yo, which is completely fine now if you're China. Not a big deal at all. Here we are, game number 3, and it is 3v3 Nomad. And China, I've always considered to be the best Nomad country in the world. So for Brazil, they would have really wanted this to at the very least be 1-1. That is obviously not the case. And oh boy, everyone is super close together here. I'll start with Team Brazil. We've got Goku playing as the Armenians for Brazil. He is very close to Lix from China and Yo from China. And also, is this Vivi? Who is this? I think this is Vivi. I'm trying to... Yeah, Vivi. Okay, let's just change this real quick. So, best of luck to Goku. I hope you have a good time with this one, pal. You're just... All you have to do is beat 3 players. You're right next to all 3 Chinese players. Then down here in the south, we got the 2 best Brazilians. We've got Dogao playing as the Japanese. And then we have Miguel playing as the Georgians. Now, dock positions are also important. So there's the dock from Dogao in the south. There's the dock over here from Miguel. And then Goku's way over on this side. But near Goku is Yo's dock. Near Dogao and Miguel is Vivi's dock. And then I am missing a dock. Ah, there's Lix, who's docked up here. But even that is pretty close to Goku. So water control will be really important. Now, there are some people here today who weren't here yesterday. Now, this is going to spoil something that happened yesterday that was absolutely epic that we may never see again for a very long time. But I think it's worth bringing up because it's relevant, all right? Because a bunch of people said, oh, poor Goku, he's going to be dead, okay? Well, yesterday, guys, we had a game where someone in 4v4 land Nomad was defeated. He wasn't like kind of dead. No, he was defeated. Everything was killed. His TC, his villagers, his buildings, literally defeated, and his team still won without him. It was crazy because they put a lot of effort and energy into defeating this one guy, and then the other 2, well, it was a 4v4, but still, the other 3 were still in the game, and they were cooking, and they had a pretty nice lead elsewhere. So that was a crazy moment. In this case, you could ask Goku to just be a rat and just try and delay as many people as possible. So, in all fairness, I don't think he has the best Civ to necessarily do that. I think they probably picked Goku so he could be the water player. And oh my goodness, guys. You're going to scout to look for dock positions. And he actually missed Yo's dock here. That's pretty critical detail. You need to find the dock positions. He's also not scouting with the pig, which is very odd. But he has other things to focus on right now. Let's look at China's scouting here. I would expect scouting on shorelines. Okay, so Vivi found the dock from Dogao. And then Lix found the dock from Goku, though he doesn't know who it is. He just knows it's a dock. The only dock they're missing is Miguel. No, and then they found Miguel's as well. Yeah, dude, China are king. Like, they've already located all the enemy docks, so they could make informed decisions on how they address this. They know that Goku's here. I think they don't know about Dogao. They do know about Miguel, I'm guessing, or at least there's someone located down here. So they're signaling and they're thinking about how they want to approach this. Now, what you would want, if you're Vivi, is you would want a safe fish boom. You would want fast castle. I think castle drop with the Berbers. That's just the most obvious thing. The other civ that can consider that for their team is probably Yo with the Ratha. I think Yo might take the more economic approach, though. Maybe Yo ends up fighting for water. We could have Lix fight for water. That could have been what that signal is. And hold up. Lix is going to try and be cheeky. He's getting Loom. He wants to wall himself in and kill that Vil right now. Wall. Oh, Goku noticed. Ooh, Goku noticed. Goku could actually fight back on the hill. That's pretty sick, actually. Nice awareness there from Goku. And Goku says, nope, not today. I'm a quick waller, bro. And Goku's going to run away. But usually your second dock goes up with the initial dock Vil. So not having this Vil building a dock should tell China what Goku is going to do is not the water play. Unless he wants to double back to water some way. Yeah, Lix is now, he's definitely not going water for the same reason, because he's just chasing with this Vil. And waiting to see what happened. Guys, I've seen games where Lix would TC drop. It probably would have happened already, but I forgot about that possibility. China definitely TC drop people on Nomad sometimes. The Vils are still just running away. Lix's Vil goes back to dock. I think Goku's going to do the same. Yo's actually the first person to click up for his team. And Yo's dock is in the west. And so he's probably going to go 2 docks and make Navy here. I mean, they know Goku's here. So easy kill on Goku's fish. Dogao is also up super fast. So Dogao's going to go water. I actually think it's worth going galleys here. I actually think it's very good for Brazil that the player who's most likely not going to defend his own fish, Vivi, is right next to the water player for Brazil. So these fishing ships shouldn't offer too much for Vivi unless he escapes with them. And even then, that takes some idle time. But yeah, this has got to be fast castle camel archers for Vivi. Just has to be. Not on stone yet, actually, but it's the only thing that makes sense for me. The signal here from Yo. So I think he lost a sheep there. And is probably like, okay, there's some activity from somebody over in that area. And Vivi's going to go check it out. Vivi's trying to get this Vil home. And Vivi might walk right by that and point out what that is. Miguel's fast castle, I think we might see him to go to stone as well to try and go Manaspa. Miguel's also not making Navy. And now Vivi's fish are fleeing. So, but this is what's so cool about this, guys. They knew that that Dogao's in feudal. They know he's going to go Navy because of the uptimes. So he's just going to run. And maybe he could sneak. Look, he's got another dock up here. This could give you 300 to 500 extra food value just running away to a sneak dock. Which could be the difference between a good castle time or not. Yo's massing the galleys. Goku Also expecting some pressure here, I imagine. He's not in a position to flee as he's tower rushing right now. But did he just get walled in? Oh boy. That's not good. Yo completely walled that tower in. And there's only 3 Vills for Goku. So Goku's tower is going to get shot down, and then those Vills are going to be dead. That's really bad. There goes Dogao to chase down the fish. Goku's also built a tower over here on Lix, who's also on stone, thinking about a castle. And let me just double check. Vivi's doing the same? Yeah, Vivi's doing the same. And the galleys are here, but the fish are just still fishing away for Vivi. That's super nice. That's really smart. Meanwhile, Goku just lost his fish. So he just kind of lost his fish immediately. And Yo might come over here towards Dogao. Think about the fishing situation for China. Like, they're all fishing freely. Lix is fishing freely because he's blocked off by Yo. And now Vivi, at least for now, is fishing freely. Like, this investment from Goku is because this is already so bad for these Vills in here. So he's trying to Vill rush down the tower. But it feels desperate. And it feels like he's going to be in an awful position here, Goku. He's down to 21 eco. No fish. We'll still probably lose these Vills. He is killing some Vills from Yo in all fairness. And Yo is probably distracted, as you can see. Vivi playing the same game again, just fleeing with the fishing ships. But yeah, Goku, he's not going to accomplish a lot for his team now, so he has to continue to try and pile on the pressure. That way Miguel will be up against weaker opponents, essentially. But Goku has lost a lot of Vills here. And this tower as well is also just desperate. It's just full desperation from Goku. I think, like, it's a tough one. You losing those 3 Vills is bad, so he thought maybe if I rush this down, I could actually save them. But he did kind of make it a bit worse for himself. Only positive is that he's setting up Miguel to maybe do some things against Yo. And that's what they need. It's actually scouts for Miguel. So he's going to go light cav. A nice little snipe there for him. Fishing ship still running around. Vivi's just being so annoying, dude. I got to commend Vivi for how well he's played. Like, now he gets more value from his fishing ships because he added 1 fire galley. Just so annoying. And what he wanted to do was drop the castle. So there he drops the castle. That castle will mean camel archers will come out soon. And Yo, Yo can't chase much longer. So the light cav allow Goku to now tower the stone. But he already has enough stone for the castle. That's fine for China. You don't need the stone anymore. All these fishing ships. Lix is 11 fishing ships. He's 3 fish booming. It's crazy. And now he said, I see your tower and I raise you a castle, Goku. Get yourself out of this pickle. Yeah. Goku is not going to be around much longer. This is bad. This is very bad. Yo's position isn't amazing. I'm not going to sit here and act like Yo's position is super, is super clean or super good. But he still has Navy to contribute for the team. He's actually jumping right on top of Dogao on water. Because Dogao is probably still trying to chase down Vivi's fish. And that's more than you could really ask for from Yo in this position. And camel archers are out from Vivi. And tower is going to just be rushed right down. It's not going to stay up much longer for Goku. And Goku's TC is going to go down. So, and like Geppetto are going to be out. So it's going to be Geppetto and camel archer. And I guess maybe what Brazil have is they'll have... No, I just don't know what they have. They're going to have light cav from Miguel, and that's it. Miguel lost all of his fish. Dogao's lost all of his fish. Goku lost all of his fish. There's 12 fishing ships for Lix. He's going to add more. They've got full water control. Lix actually snuck a dock over here to send in the fires to help out here. It's just honestly perfect from China. Just the perfect game. And I would have predicted China win the 3v3. This is probably their best map, 3v3 Nomad. what hurts Brazil now is not winning a game in the first two, right? That 1v1 between Dogao and Yo that we just saw is really, really present in their minds. And they don't want to go down 3 games, but I get not wanting to tap out, but that's pretty much the situation we're in. This is Nomad, dude. This is China's map. This is what makes them happy. This is what they do. Like these guys play with 8 Chinese players 4v4 Nomad multiple times a week. Like they're really the only country that are just living and breathing Nomad. And they're just so freaking good at it. I don't know what just happened here. That's cute, yo. I have no clue what he was doing there. I think maybe he tried to save the Vils. But again, why was he out there? I don't know. Yo's still in feudal age. He needs to make his way to castle age, but it's not looking good for Team China right now. Dogao's still fighting back on water. If he gets over and kills the fish from Lix, that could be a positive. But I think Lix has already benefited from the fish. You could lose all the fish right now, and he's already on multiple TCs, already in castle age, has had fishing ships longer than the opponent has. He does know about this too, so he is going to have some fires around. And Dogao's got other things to worry about, like the camel archers. So he might not realize this, and maybe things go south for him. Finland plays a lot of Nomad too. There are some other countries. Taiwan plays a lot of Nomad. Maybe I exaggerated a little bit, but like seriously though, Yo, Vivi, Lix, and then like Bad Koala, a lot of the B squad for China, like Jibitong, Ming normally hops in there. You've got Duity, who hopefully plays well in Wandering Warriors Cup coming up, the 1v1 Nomad tournament. Just like a whole lot of Nomad. But Brazil, it's more so the standard land maps, the 1v1s. So Arabia 4v4, which is what it started off with. And then the 1v1, which is what game number 2 was. That was their moments to snag a win. China just played so well there. And I mean, Dogao just lost like 10 bills. Guys, these camel archers have killed 32 eco. This is 10 camel archers. They've killed 32 eco. That's ridiculous. And how's Goku doing? Okay, Goku is in his own little corner here. That kind of reminds me of Loey the Legends, what we're seeing here. Hiding in the corner. The world is a scary place. You never want to leave your base. But yeah, Dogao, there's just no way to compete with Camel Archer. You would need to have a really strong unit yourself, and the only thing I could suggest here would be that Miguel go into Manaspa. He doesn't have stone for a castle though, so he has to try knights. I think this is Brazil playing on because they don't want to get 3-0'd. They don't want to be behind 3 games. They do want to just make sure this is completely over. Dogao's at 30 pop. Goku's at 26 pop. Miguel might be saying, no, guys, like, let me mass my knights. I'm Georgians. Georgians are OP, remember? But are the knights going to be good enough against this many camel archers? Remember, camel archers, 7 base attack, 9 attack once you get Bodkin. Crazy damage for a Castle Age unit. And then you got Gebettos rolling into town. And the GG's call. Wow. So China just kind of dominating today. It's unfortunate for Brazil because this game wasn't close, but I felt that game 2 was very close. Game 1 still could have gone either way, but China just so consistent here. Now 1 win away from going to the finals. The sponsor of this tournament is an individual. It's just one guy. He put up like 30K for the SAX Arabia tournament. SAX is short for his name. Shinaxi is his name. He put up 30K for the Arabia tournament months back. He put up 50K for this tournament. So he's very pro-China, I imagine. And he's probably really happy to see what his team is doing right now. And a bit disappointing, right? I want to see more games. Brazil's still such a good team. But, you know, got to take it one game at a time. So hopefully, like maybe now Yo's not going to be available in the next game. Maybe they can get the job done because of that. I think it was really good recognition from China on how they could play the water. Guys, just the difference between like Vivi actually keeping a fish boom alive and being competitive with the castle time versus all the other players from Brazil immediately losing their fish was crazy. It was just so smart. Like, that's such a Nomad thing. Like, oh, okay, I'm just going to run with my fish and then delay. And then also, Lix didn't make any ships and had a full fish boom because they knew that Yo would handle the water and basically block him off from the team. Just really good recognition. Fish is so important on Nomad to get a good castle each time and have more resources to work with there. Miguel had a great game, but unfortunately Goku didn't. And then Dogal just died to camel archers, essentially. But he also was not able to fully win water against Yo when that was mainly his only job there. So, tough start for Brazil. Well, Brazil have had better days. And we're hoping they can turn it around like they did in the early stages of this tournament against Russia. They were once down 2-0, came back to win 3-2. A reverse sweep here would mean 4 wins in a row, though. And it is against Team China, so it's going to be tough. It's 2v2 arena now. For China, we've got Lix playing as the Malay in the blue. And we've got Vivi playing in the green as the Poles. Vivi's up against Stark. Stark comes in for Brazil. Amazing player. Really good on more strategic maps, which is what I would say Arena is. He's playing as the Turks. And then we've got Miguel playing as the Burgundians. Just a perfect civ for him. Every time Miguel plays, he wants to go for the eco and cav approach. Burgundians are one of the best. So Poles also on the flip side for China, also one of the best at that. But I'm curious more so about the Turks here. Like, we saw an approach the other day where someone was so worried about the Turks getting an easy castle drop that they actually tower rushed. And I've seen Vivi tower rush multiple times with Poles. So we might see a tower rush happen just to slow down the castle. I think what you don't want is you don't want the forward castle to happen. You don't want the castle on your walls. So if you pressure with the towers, at least they have to place their castle defensively. That's the logic. So yesterday, Stark actually messaged me. And the first thing he said was, make sure everyone remembers that they can subscribe for free with Twitch Prime. He definitely said that. The second thing he said, though, we were talking about tower rushing on Arena because there was a game between Argentina and Vietnam, and I commented how it takes more time to go through the gate. But he said it absolutely does take more time to bust down the gate if you're tower rushing, but it guarantees you get in pretty much. And it's all about surface area. He said if players are smart, and I know this happens in 1v1 Arena, if you just start to break down one piece of stone wall, they can rush out here with Loom real quick and just boop down another piece of stone wall. And then you just wasted more time than you would have had you taken down the gate initially. So he was basically pointing out kind of the counter to my argument at that time. And I tend to agree. I think what he said is really smart. So if we do see a tower rush, I'd expect maybe they focus down this gate here. I thought of it when he placed the house there, but I don't think he placed the house there as like extra fortification for the gate per se. Malay can go fast feudal eco. They can go fast feudal tower rush as well. I don't think tower rushing the Burgundians makes a lot of sense. Like basically, the Burgundians, they get their eco upgrades an age earlier. Malay advance so much faster to the next stage, they can just spam those eco upgrades and end up having more vills in the long run because of less time researching up to feudal and castle. So it's like, I actually think the Malay and Burgundian boom is pretty comparable. Where they're not comparable on this side is their unit types. Malay more infantry archer, and then Burgundians more so the cav. Someone says, oops, Stark killed Boar with TC. No, he didn't. Surely he did not. I don't think he did. Should I double check? There's that boar. Didn't he have a boar before this? Okay, so there's this boar, and then he just ate another boar. Let's see. Yeah, he's fine, chat. What are you doing? What are you doing? Do you know how many people on YouTube just clicked away because we just rewound? Come on. It's all good. It's all good. They understand. They understand. Yeah, I got 2 guide, not 1 guide. There were 2 people who said that, so. All right, so either Stark is expecting that he's going to be tower rushed, or he is just going to stone to plan for a castle, which is kind of the standard approach anyways. Now, I'm glad I brought up what I brought up, because Stark, he literally just talked about why trying to go through the stone wall is actually bad. So this is what Stark sent me screenshots of, and we talked about just last evening. So he's already like, all right, I'm going to give myself a little bit more time. And let's test the theory here. Here come the vills from Vivi. He's bringing 7 vills. Now, I also spoke to an arena clown about this. If you have 7 vills on a gate, you get through just as fast as if you had 3 vills and a scout on a piece of stone wall. So it just depends on how many vills you bring forward. I think he's going to drop a tower and then go through the gate. Yeah. So tower there and then gate makes sense. And Stark now has to make decisions on what he does. Stark ultimately wants to go fast castle here, but it's going to be tough. He's going to have to play it safe here. I think the gate's going to be the target. It's weird to me that Lix and Vivi aren't attacking the gate already. It does feel like... Okay, this is sick. This is sick. Okay, so according to what Stark told me, he said you could run out with a couple loomed vills and you just boop down a stone wall. But I don't know. There's 5 vills in that tower. He also didn't say the word boop. That's more my terminology. Let's see what he does here. Okay. Well, he doesn't do that at all. He goes for the full stone wall behind Market Blacksmith. And he's going to allow the enemy into the base. But he's going to protect from this. And he's going to prep a tower behind. All right. Well, you're really ruining the content here, Stark. Because we're really interested to see your theory. Now, in the situation we were talking about, it would only have been like 2 vills attacking the wall. And then 3 vills in the tower, not 5 vills. Because Vivi brought a lot of villagers here. So I think Stark just wanted to play it safe. His eco is looking rough right now. And he could lose his market. Ugh! That market's going to go down pretty quick here, guys. You can't lose your market. Still can't click up. He doesn't have the food. This tower doesn't exactly save the market. I feel like the market is the most valuable building for him right now. Well, maybe second after the town center. Well, does that actually save the market? Vivi's not going to attack the market. I'm actually very pro killing the market. He's going to just place a tower here because he sees the stone is there. All right. Stark clicks up. All things considered, not bad. He's still probably going to get to his castle. He might need to make another tower, though. The Lix is adding a stable? With melee? He'll probably just add scouts, but he's still booming away in feudal. Miguel is about to click up to Castle H. I think he's missing something. Oh, he's not. Okay, he didn't go standard fast castle. He went fast feudal boom, kind of like the melee did. So that'll take some time. And blacksmith now for Vivi. Behind this, Poles get that food boost when they build their farms around the full work. So this is what makes it strong. It's like your eco back at home is chilling. They can't really counterattack you. I know, chat. I know you guys want to see elephants, but that was on Big Freeze. That was a map with palisade walls where you could break through the walls. I don't think we'll see elephants, but we did see it yesterday and it worked pretty well. Until the sling issue happens. Dude, I still can't get over that. Yesterday was the day that someone slung themselves out of a tournament. Dude, taking down the market is so good here. Because when your eco is so low like this, you really need to use the market to balance things out. And Stark, he's going to drop his castle, and there it is. Now, this is a good castle, in my opinion. Actually, it's a horrible castle, in my opinion. I take it back. Is it good? Okay, it's fine. You just can't build on the right side. This is fine. Basically, the reason I thought it was good was because it would shoot down this tower. Oh, and dude, he's so hoping that this market is still there. Oh, Vivi, you animal! Vivi's like, okay, I'm just gonna take this down right before I leave. And yeah, the castle will take out 2 of the towers, which is why it's half decent. Okay, so there are scouts, and now it's a forward siege workshop from Lix. Lix is in Castle Age already, and Miguel, his scout is walking around, but it's very weak. But he might be a little bit suspicious right now. This is interesting. Miguel's going to eventually go for scouts of his own, but he's not expecting a ram push. Okay, now I would like elephants, because like 1 elephant into the eco could really be something Miguel doesn't have an answer for. And, oh, okay, so Miguel loses his scout before he sees that. So he might just assume it's just light cav play for map control. See if Stark can balance this eco. Stark is going to send the Janissaries over. And look at Vivi. Vivi. Maybe expecting a petard. I mean, it's super smart, guys. There's so many players that would never do this. And they would just die if 1 petard came out of this castle and busted through the walls. Let's see if Stark notices the 2nd layer. Because if he doesn't, he will... He's adding a petard! He's adding a petard right now. Because 1 petard breaks through the wall, but he doesn't see the next layer of wall. Dude, Vivi is so smart here. This is such good thinking to understand how this is going to go. And here comes the petard. Stark's like, we got this, baby. We got this. Where's our best target? Oh! Uh-oh. There's another layer of wall. That's cheating. Yeah, so now you need another petard, and it gives Vivi a little bit more time. Vivi's going to add the walls. Vivi might even see the petard. I think he might have caught a glimpse of the petard, because when the units come out of the castle, they're on screen there. And Vivi says, I can do this all day, bro. I can do this all day. Oh, God, the light cap got through. My apologies, guys. I got very distracted by the walls. And the light cav killed a vill. Just 1 villager kill. But Miguel is pikeman, and Miguel is actually okay here. It might not feel like he is, but he can probably clear this up. What's crazy is Lix's boom is wild. Lix is 3 TCs. So you would think that Lix is all in. But Malay are just ridiculous, dude. They're one of the best arena civs for this reason. They're just rushing up through the ages. They're so much better at it. Now, what will Vivi do from here? I'm not entirely sure. His walls do get stronger just by making it to Castle Age. So he'll have some time. Miguel is going to find it tough to boom when the light cav are roaming around his base and he loses another vill there. Is Arena Feudal Boom the new meta? It's not the new meta. It's been happening for many, many years now, especially with the Malay. It's mainly with the Malay that it happens. There are a couple few exceptions, but Malay, it's a lot of people think the only way to play Arena. If you get it right. Now, I just think this is so unique because Lix opened up with this pressure and Miguel would have assumed it was an all-in. Miguel actually clears up, gets some really nice value with his scouts out here. But yeah, it's not an all-in. Lix is just in his base, running around, being a pain. Miguel's distracted. Looks like Vivi is making skirms out here, trying to still take that gold. And still adding walls on this side. I mean, if I'm Miguel right now, I'm annoyed. Like this... You could tell he's thrown off. He's getting pop capped. He's made how many pikes and still hasn't really killed this yet? And then Stark as well. Stark is like, he's like, how long can this guy keep doing this? Also, what's kind of wild, it's going to be a pretty big trap here, potentially, because here comes Vivi with the skirms. So Stark needs to get out of here, because he might not be able to escape. The light cav will find the skirms. So that's actually huge, just having your starting scout helping out that much. But I think it's going to die. And then the Janissaries might not have much of an answer, might not be able to move out. Oh my god, Lix! Dude, Lix is playing amazing today. It's crazy. He's going up to the 4th TC. He's still running around with these freaking light cav. So annoying. And now the Janissaries from Stark are just going to meet up with Miguel. Miguel's going to bring some light cav over. Nice teamwork here from Brazil. Ooh, but, just passing. All right. Neither player was paying attention. Just passing. I think they were probably looking here, as the Janissaries kill a couple of the villagers there underneath that tower. And if the light cav supports here from Miguel, Vivi could start to have some problems. There's also a Mangonel from Miguel on the way. So yeah, they just want to get rid of Vivi on the front here. Guys, I actually think, I know we talked about it, but I actually think it might be the best play to open with elephants against Miguel. Nah, that's stupid. He's got pikemen. Never mind. I take it back. Classic case of what I want to see versus what we actually should see. I think the skirms from Vivi got more than enough value. This is a unique unit we're talking about. He's killed off most of them. And also, it's... Whoa, actually, there's a lot more. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. The range is going up for Lix as he clicks up to Imp. Stark could get right over and break into this base still. It's still possible. I think skirms were necessary, though. And Lix is still running around with these two light cav. These two light cav have still not died. Like, Miguel has got to be hating his life right now. This is so freaking annoying, dude. There go the Janissaries. Headed over towards Lix now. I mean, if Lix advances forward before he has upgrades, he could get caught out by these things big time. And this could give Brazil time to cook a little bit. Stark and Vivi are very close to each other in strength right now. You'd expect the Poles to have a bit of a better boom, but it's still just now 3rd TC for Vivi. Lix wants a forward castle, but the army from Stark is going to be here, and this will be through the wall before you know it. And it stops the crossbowmen from advancing forward. Like, congratulations, Lix, you're an imp, but you have castle age units, and you can't build a forward castle, and you can't beat these Janissaries right now. Sometimes the Malay are too fast to the next stage. They can't even get the upgrades yet. You still expect him to be fine. He's got 95 vills, but this is the first time that Lix has been under pressure all game, and the first time that Miguel has been able to freely boom without having to worry about any annoying pressure. So I'd expect Miguel to catch up. Miguel will probably be up to Imp, probably play into Paladin, which could be really strong, and really good against Vivi's skirms, too, if Vivi continues to make skirmishers. Here comes some of those skirmishers from Vivi. Miguel has the light cav and the pikemen here. We'll probably lose them, but it allows Stark to back away towards the siege workshop. That was a really big deal, the fact that Stark came over here. If Stark didn't come over here, Miguel would have bigger problems. Still going to be problematic for Miguel, as he still hasn't clicked up to Imp, though. Might just be able to take down the siege workshop in the meantime. I think Vivi will definitely go into Cav once he makes it to Imp, but he's still pretty far away from that. And he doesn't have the largest amount of space for the full work farms, too, which is worth considering. 2 castles for Stark. He also hasn't clicked up to Imp, though. And advantage China, man. Advantage China. When you're up against the Turks, you need to stop them from killing you. That's literally, like, it doesn't have to be any prettier than that. They've done that with the Poles against the Turks. And then the Malay can kind of do it all. But here, we've seen Lix just beast mode it here today. I love to see Lix play like this on the big stage because it shows people that Lix isn't just that crazy player. A lot of people think that Lix is like the annoying style. He can do that, but he doesn't have to do it. He still can play as meta as the rest of them. And he really has been playing some of his best Age of Empires this tournament, too. On the flank, whether it's pocket, he has played the annoying role on Nomad. And I think Miguel's map is making things so much worse for him. Like, he can't take most of his gold right now. He is going to TC this. I did see his golds at the start and thought that if he was tower rushed, it would be a problem, but imagine having a gold in the back right now and the difference that would make for him. I don't know, guys. This is... He's 30 seconds away from imp. He's going to go for Paladin. It is cheaper with Burgundians, but there's going to be so many ARBs on the field here for Lix. If Lix keeps producing, he should be up to 50 ARBs before Paladin is in. And Vivi, he's on the way to the Imperial Age right now. I also see Lix is getting banking. I think he might send resources to Vivi. I think you can send resources down an age, right? You just can't send resources up an age. That's the rule. I mean, you could send resources to someone in the same age as you as well. We've got to pause. It would not surprise me if right now they're checking the handbook to see if they can send resources. Because Lix just got banking completed. And yesterday, Vietnam screwed up and lost the game because they broke the sling rule twice. So I think they definitely are double checking right now. They're like, yo, can you check the handbook? Because I don't know if there's like a Chinese language handbook translation. They want to see if Lix can send his food and gold to Vivi so Vivi can go for crazy cav numbers. 100%. 100%. Because if you get it wrong, you lose the game. And then you're not going directly to the finals after a 4-0 sweep, which would be crazy. So we had the drama yesterday. And, okay, so there was a pause. But right after the pause, Lix sends. So it was a pause from Brazil, it seems. But it wasn't, like, maybe Miguel wanted Sling from Stark and they were double checking. But guys, this is bad for poor Brazil. This is bad. And I don't foresee it getting much better. Just China have been all over them today. You just have to credit China for playing near perfect every single game. In the 4v4, all 4 of their players were just on top of it. The 1v1, Yo with that crazy comeback. The what was previous? Oh, the 3v3 Nomad they owned. And then here, like Lix, it feels like Lix has been twice the player as every other player of this game, including his own teammate Vivi. Like Lix is just playing ridiculous. And Paladin for Miguel 30 seconds away, but Miguel barely has gold income. And of course, he has like no support from Stark, who can't move out because there's skirms. So poor Stark feels bad. He can't take any engagements. The skirms and Arbalest completely destroy him. And let's see Miguel. Let's see Paladin make a difference here. Here we go. A whole 10 Paladin. Has to clear this up now, obviously, because this is before it gets so much worse. But there's Halb. Malay get the free armor upgrades, so it doesn't take very long for Lix to get the upgrades he needs to deal with this. And this is before Vivi has like 60 Cavalier on the field, which he will get to because he's building the stables and getting the unique tech. It's GG. And China just stomped Brazil in the semifinals. Brazil, one of the best teams ever in team games. China the same. And China looking really sharp here. I just said it all. And unfortunately, not a more entertaining semifinal. We would have loved to see more games. But China's been... They've had the broom out, and they've been sweeping recently. Or getting close to a sweep anyways. China typically start a little bit slow. They did start slow in this tournament. I think they dropped their first series. And then ever since then, they've just been on an absolute tear. So China will move on to the finals. China will face the winner of the second semifinal, which is Argentina and France. And I think that moves us on to speculation there. Which team is preferred? Which team is more balanced? Which team has the greatest chance to beat China? I think France is the favorite in that semifinal. I think France also has the best chances of beating China, but we'll see. Now, I'm just excited to see that next series now after this one, but hopefully it's a little bit closer. Hope people enjoyed this semifinal. China on to the final. Next big semifinal coming up next.